any weakness, so it becomes really hard for you to ask for anything. Every veteran is deserving the benefits they earned by serving our country.
Would you be open to a limited deal that just covered the Strait of Hormuz?
What does that mean?
On Iran, just a limited deal just for a longer ceasefire.
We'd have to open the strait. That would open immediately. So we're going to give this one shot. I'm in no hurry. You never think, oh, the midterms, I'm in a hurry. I'm in no hurry. Ideally, I'd like to see few people killed as opposed to a lot. We can do it either way, but I'd like to see few people killed. I just wonder whether or not they have the good of the people, because some of the things they're doing to me means they don't have the good of the people, and they have to have the good of the people. There's a lot of anger now in Iran because people are living so badly. There's a lot of foment that we haven't seen before so much, and we'll see what happens. I believe in Texas, and I believe the Texas candidate, who's Ken Paxton, I think he'll win. I think probably he'll win very substantially, and I think he'll go on to defeat a very defective candidate, a candidate that believes in 6 genders, and he takes hits at Jesus Christ, and he's wearing a mask 6 months ago, whereas anybody wearing a mask 6 months ago doesn't get it. And he's a vegan. He's a vegan in Texas, and you can't get elected as a vegan in Texas. We're building a great ballroom. It's been needed. It's a very military complex. The roof is actually a drone port. The roof of the ballroom is a drone port, and it gives great safety to everything below. We're building a really great ballroom, but it's also a strong military position for our people.
Do you have any plans to call President Lai before you make your decision on the arms deal?
What?
Do you have any plans to call President Lai of Taiwan before you make a decision on the weapons package?
Well, I'll speak to him. I speak to everybody. We have that situation very well in hand. We had a great meeting with President Xi. It was amazing, actually. It was amazing. Many of you were there. We'll work on the Taiwan problem.
Told me over the weekend, Mr. President, he suggested that there's still people in your DOJ and FBI that are waiting you out. They're waiting until your administration is over to get back to work. Do you think those people are still in the DOJ and FBI?
I hope not. Well, we're going to seek them out. We'll seek them out. We'll get rid of them. Okay? Because you have in every agency, you have scum. And certainly they did in the FBI and DOJ. But Todd Blanche is doing a fantastic job. Cash is doing a very good job. So we will prevail. I've been standing here a long time with you, many years, right? And they've been saying, I think it's it. I think he's trouble. Here I am, it's a very constant situation. But I think you're going to find that we have great people in the FBI and we have great people in DOJ. Todd Blanche has really been doing a great job, and a lot of things to come.
All right. Once a call Halayim, La Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Harakak Radash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostle, the great millstone, double honors to our elder apostle as well, the Heron Bunyan Charlotte down in the Lions Den camp. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, sincerity and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, I'm Clarence Bunyan Charlotte from the Lions Den Charlotte camp. And this is another Lions Den news and prophecy, so here we go. It says, 2 Ezra 15:1, it says, Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecies which I'll put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper, for they are faithful and true. All right. So here we are on Thursday, May 21st, 2026. Still no deal, and I don't think the Strait of Hormuz has been opened yet. So, I did a lesson. Well, basically, just go off this topic right here. Iran. War will spread beyond Middle East if U.S. attacks. See that? And that's what we've been saying this whole time was going to happen. This is going to start out as a regional war of Yahweh Shaphat. At the end, it's going to migrate into Ezekiel 38, and ultimately it's going to lead up to the 200 million missiles. All right, in Revelation. So this is slowly progressing into the end all tell all of World War III. So first world's past, second world coming quickly. I mean, second world's past, behold, third world coming quickly. All right, I'm gonna put my glasses on real quick. What else? All right, it says Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps on Wednesday directly warned the United States and Israel that any new attack on Tehran would lead to a conflict that spreads beyond the Middle East. And we've been saying that. We've been saying that for years. It's going to start as a regional. First started as a proxy war, Cold War proxy war, and that evolved into a regional war. And a regional war is going to escalate into an all-out world war, which is going to lead to the destruction of Babylon the Great. It says, "Speak thou the ears of the words of my, speak down the ears of my people the words of prophecy." We've been speaking this time and time again on this very same subject. You see that? So, the Lord put it within us to be able to, you know, prophesy the words, His word. These are not our words. This is His word. It says, the statement reported by Iranian state media claims the regime did not expend its full arsenal during the U.S.-Israeli air campaign that began on February 28th, and that if aggression against Iran is repeated, it would hit back in places you cannot even imagine. In places, not ways, in places you cannot even imagine. So they're already strategically setting this up. They're already setting some stuff up, man. It says, early in the war, Iran fired 2 long-range missiles at the Diego Garcia Islands, which hosts a U.S.-UK military base in the Indian Ocean, raising fears about its ability to hit targets outside the Middle East. They've already been said they could. And if they can't, they got allies that can. Or these sleeper cells that are probably already here in the United States somewhere. It says Iran's latest threats follows President Trump's Monday announcement that he would hold off a very major attack against Iran at the request of leaders from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, UAE. It said Trump claimed a U.S. strike was scheduled for Tuesday. Yeah, the day before yesterday it's supposed to be scheduled, but he called it off. Said he said on the strength of them, those nations that they just named in this article. It says Trump also claimed Tuesday that the U.S. is going to end the war very quickly. He said that the first time. He said 2 weeks. First time. It said before contradicting those remarks a day later, telling reporters on Wednesday that he is not in a hurry to make a deal with Iran. Right? And you heard what he said. He's like, oh man. He said he said the way he said it, like knowing the type of person Esau is, the way he said it, to me it's like he said, we're gonna have to kill a few people, right? Coming out of Esau's mouth, that sounds like he has a targeted set of individuals, but what he was saying actually was like some people are gonna have to die, but let's not hope a lot of people have to die. But he's like that's the agenda anyway. Like yeah, so somebody ain't gonna make it out of this. And in his eyes, it ain't gonna be on his side. It's gonna be on the opposing side. See that's that pride that's built up, man. Talking about he ain't in no hurry because he ain't really got everything together. It says the war in Iran is unpopular domestically, with polls showing a growing number of Americans are displeased with Trump's handling of the conflict. The, the unpopularity driven by rising fuel costs due to the war poses a risk to Republicans as they seek to defend the majorities in Congress. Hmm. It says Trump for weeks has sought an off ramp to the war, but they can't, because if they just pull out without some sort of deal or submission, Iran's going to go after these other countries for reparations for reimbursement for the stuff that's been destroyed because of the strike. That's why the United States, they have to come to some sort of deal of recognition. You know what I'm saying? Recognizing, like, okay, these are the terms of the war being over. And part of those terms, like, the United States doesn't want Iran to have any type of nuclear program, period, whether it's weapons or just regular nuclear energy. They don't want that. Um, Iran wants the U.S. to pull out all their troops from all the military bases that they have around in that region. Um, and they want reparations for all the damage that's been done to this war. That's just like you taking to somebody to court to sue them, but you fail to sue them, and in return of that, they want this, a counter sue of this, and for you to pay for all their lawyer fees. See that? So they can't just pull out. They'll pay a heavy price without some sort of written consent of yielding by Iran. That's why these other nations like, oh, hey man, you said you're gonna make them cry uncle. What's going on? You know? It said Trump for weeks sought an off ramp to the war, but negotiations remain elusive over disagreements on Iran's nuclear enrichment and control over the Strait of Hormuz. As of this week, Iran reportedly wants an end to all hostilities against it and its proxy group in Lebanon. U.S. forces to withdraw from areas near Iran. See that? Reparations for damage caused by the U.S.-Israeli war on the regime, lifted sanctions and release of frozen funds, as well as an end to the U.S. blockade on the country via the Strait of Hormuz. See, those are the conditions, and America's not going to meet those conditions, man, especially the ones about a nuclear weapon program. It says Trump and Iran both have rejected peace proposals from the other side in the past month, with the president last week declining a request from Tehran to separate nuclear talks from peace discussions, calling it totally unacceptable. Mm. So okay. The Guard Corps on Wednesday addressed the recent threats from the U.S. and Israel, framing Iran's response as restrained. It pointed to its resilience against the most expensive armies, saying that Iran did not deploy all the capabilities of the Islamic Revolution against them. They were using they lightweight stuff, man. So going back to this article, it says Iran war will spread beyond Middle East if U.S. strikes. That's a quote that Iran said. War will spread beyond Middle East if U.S. strikes it. See that? So what? What did it say? I shall remove from you the northern armies and drive them to a land barren and desolate. Right? What did he do? He drove them all the way into this land facing Iran. Right? And now from that point on, now the Lord got the mountain of truth there, that war is going to disperse everywhere. Russia's going to get involved. China's going to get involved. North Korea's going to get involved. India's going to get involved. Turkey's going to get involved. Istanbul's all these other nations are going to have to be pulled into this war. All right? All right, Lord willing, bless and edify the service purpose for the hope elect, the one who truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shem. I'll start with that. I'd like to call Halayim, La Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Harakak Wadash, my mouth. Double honor to the elder apostles of the great millstone, double honor to our elder apostles as well. I heard one by Yasharala down here in the lines in camp. Salutations to the Ark that are pushing the truth, the sincerity and truth. And peace and blessing to the men and women and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shem. I'll start. Shalom.